Today's Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop, which is now August the 27th to the 29th, 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia. And Ranger Stop Convention, which is now November 11th to the 14th, 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstop.com for more info.
Who are you? How dare you invade my kingdom? Intruders must be destroyed!
Please tell me someone bought a really big eraser.
Leave this place!
You know, that vet guy.
Oh, that guy. I heard he was made redundant.
No shit. Storage?
But he's so young to be shelved.
Wonder what the poor sap did wrong.
I'm putting my money on Paul.
Hey, gotta keep this on the down low.
So, Mrs. Ashton. I said Mr. Whoops. Sorry, it's a long day. Yeah, it's comfy. So, Miss Ashton. How
Ms.
are you doing?
Ms.
Oh, Ms. Ashton.
Yeah, Ms. The feminist Ms. I am doing really well. I'm doing really well. We're very lucky here in New Zealand at these times, and we've just dropped a level. We were in a bit of a more of a sort of strict alert, but now that we've dropped, everybody's really great.
That's good. That's good.
That's good.
And please excuse us. We just got out of a podcast and our voices are throbbing.
Oh, wow. I know how that is.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special interview of veteran Power Ranger voice actress, Penny Ashton. So what's funny is you're actually the last name of my favorite teacher in high school. Her last name was also Ashton, so yay!
All right. Yeah, well, I'm glad. Kia ora, everybody. Haere mai, ki tamaki makoto to Auckland in New Zealand. So, yes. I know, it's funny you should say that about scratchy voices, because I remember when I did Fragra, 2003, my voice was screwed afterwards, like utterly screwed. And I was doing a show. There I am. I was doing a show in the comedy festival, and I was really worried that I was going to be able to talk. After doing that, doing this Russian voice for so long, it was very full on.
Yeah, so guys, she voiced Fragra.
Yeah.
There you go. She also voiced Phrygia. It's Phrygia, correct?
Phrygia, I called it Phrygia. Yeah.
Yes, and of course, Leisure from Dino Charge.
Leisure Beam! That's me! Do you know what? The funny thing about that is I had to go back in and do it twice, and the second time they said, we just need you to be less annoying. Because I was totally doing it like this! And they were like, okay, no, that's too much. You need to dial it back. Which you don't often get told on Power Rangers, pull it back a bit, pull it back. So I had to, yeah.
What's funny, one of your episodes with Leisure, one of the actors, actual Ranger actors, actually loved it so much, they're actually wondering where did that voice come from. So if you're watching it...
Here I am! That's me!
By the way, if you ever, if Tara Strong ever retires from doing Harley Quinn, you should go out for her voice.
Yeah, I could try that. Yeah, they often don't come to New Zealand for these things, but that was the great thing about Power Rangers actually moving here, is that it's given so many New Zealand actors quite a lot of work over the years, which has been great.
Awesome.
Because I love voice work, and we don't actually have that much of it here, because basically I'm a character actress is what I am, so that's you just get to embody that. Like I've been voices in with the Path of Exile, the computer game, and some other sort of various, done looping in Spartacus and various other things too. So I love that sort of work, and I just wish we had a little more.
Penny, how you get started with acting?
How did I get started in acting? Wow. I think I was born pretty much. And that was it. Like I started doing ballet when I was 4. And basically I haven't really been off stage since. I've never really had a proper job. I've never had a salary. I don't know what that is. I've just always done acting all the way through school and dance. I did a drama degree. I was very qualified to be a waitress, which I also did for quite a while. And then I moved to Auckland in 1998 and then started trying to get into acting, and I actually found it quite difficult to get into, so I started writing poetry. So I'm actually also a slam poet. So I started writing poetry for a while, which led me into cabaret and then into comedy. And then at about that same time, I started doing voice work, which was in 2000. So the first ever looping I did, which is the background vocal stuff, which I do on, I've done most of the Power Rangers seasons, but was for Jack of All Trades, which was by the same people that did Xena and Hercules and all that sort of stuff. So from there, I got a voice agent, and that's led to all of this sort of stuff. So in New Zealand, you have to have a lot of fingers in pies, basically, to sort of make a living. So I've been freelance full-time for 20 years without a day job. So that's purely due to all of the different strings in the bow, basically.
But hey, you made it.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like, it's funny too. My husband, when we met, like, he hadn't heard of me, and he thought that you had to be, famous to make a living as an actor, and you just don't have to. You have to be, I think, diverse if you can, particularly in New Zealand. But yeah, you don't actually have to reach that level of fame to be a jobbing actor and to make money and do what you love, even if you're not top of the list of celebrity get me out of here, etc.
So where did the voice acting come in?
Yeah, well, it was because I had an acting agent, and they put me up for some vocal stuff, and then I did like this voice demo tape, and I've done voice jobs I was the voice of a radio station for a while, like this week's must-have CD, not CV, CD. That shows you how long ago that was. We don't have those anymore. That was for the Edge radio station. I did a lot of that sort of stuff, and then I got this. Actually, it's how I led to a lot of my improv careers. So I know that you've interviewed Laurie Dungy, who's one of my best friends, and I got into the Auckland Theatre Sports Group through looping. Somebody said, come in. So I went and did this Jack of All Trades one, and it was funny too because it was a bondage episode, a little different to Power Rangers. So one of the first things I said, there was a bike with no seat, and he had to ride that. So I was like, bottoms up, boys. That was one of the first things I said. But I met all the people in that loop group that were into improv. So then I started doing improv with them, and I still am 20 years later. So yeah, that's how I started that. And then it just became apparent, because I have all these stupid accents that I can do. So it works really well particularly for cartoon and stuff like that. Really big things, and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Yes. How did you start working for Power Rangers?
Well, that was, I think I don't even remember. And through my voice agent, I had an audition for Fragra. So that was it. And so Fragra, so that was 2003, there I go. So I had an audition for that. And Russian is one accent I can do quite well. Like my Italian is rubbish, my, stuff. Every time I start doing a European accent, it eventually ends up Russian. So it was quite good that she was Russian and she shrunk people in her perfume buckets. So that was sort of right up my alley. So that was how I started. And then my voice agent has put me up for auditions for all the other ones, and they know me now at Power Rangers because I've been looping. I've done these 3 different monsters, and I was a live action character as well. So I think that helps, that they think of you to get you in for auditions when they know that you can do it.
Also, by the way, guys, for Fragra, I have her episode right here.
Oh my God!
2003 edition.
On VHS.
Yes. You're actually with another monster too in an episode, but yes, you're in this case. This is really focused on, your perfume, your monster.
Yeah.
So Cyber Chase guy. I still have
That's so cool. And you watched that when you were how old?
Do you want to know?
Yes, I do. 8. Holy S word that you can't say on this podcast, but I say a lot in real life, or holy F word for that matter. Yeah, oh my God, 8. It's so weird because I don't think that I'm old, but yet to you I probably am. So
No.
Oh, stop. Oh, it was nearly 20 years ago, mind you, and that blows my mind. I've been doing this a long time.
You kind of answered this one already. How'd you find the voice of Fragra? Did they show you a picture of what she looked like, or did they like what was the direction they told? Did they say they wanted you to do like a Russian accent or something?
You know what? I can't even remember if they told me to do Russian or if I just did Russian. That was so long ago. I know. I think maybe I probably did. Said this is one of the ones I can do. It's the same with like Leisure Beam, and in Path of Exile, like I did this one called Aisling Lefray, I think her name is, and I did Cockney for her because she was like this real bruiser. I just felt right to so we go, I'm gonna rip you limb from limb, So when you bring what you can do to it, and then they can put that to it, that works well. And I did that. I think I probably said I can do Russian. I can do Russian if you want. I think they probably wanted European. So then, and there's something evil, right? You just got particularly. And it's so funny. If you watch us in the booth, we're like this. We're constantly, you have to act it out. You use your whole body, but you have to be careful not to make noises. Like you can't jump because there's the thud, and you can't clap, and so you have to, and you can't wear like a shell suit. Like I wouldn't wear one of those anyway, like a tracksuit, because it would make a lot of noise. So yeah, you have to be conscious of that sort of thing. But I'm very physical. I'm always moving around a lot, and it's fun that way.
Awesome.
I'm getting a bit sweaty. Perimenopause. I don't think I am. You never know. Every day you're like, is it menopause? I don't know. Is it? I'm not sure, but I'm going to put my hair up anyway. Oh, there we go.
They should. They should have you come in and like be like a human villain character. That would be cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was a street comedian, so that's when I got to do my New York accent and, pretend like
I once fooled someone from New York that I was from there, so that was exciting. But yeah, so that was my street, and it was to play a comedian. So they got all the comedians in to audition, and so it was nice to get that because I am also a comedian, so that was fun. But it was ridiculous, so over the top.
True that. How did you find the voice of Phrygia?
Phrygia, like they just, I just sort of thought of myself as a giant freezer. It's like I'm an enormous Calvinator or like Fisher and Paykel, and just sort of it sort of did that. Oh, whoops! I got to turn down my phone. I'm a professional, really, I am. But yeah, so I just sort of was like this giant. Yeah, that's sort of what I was very grounded. So I think I did a lot of pelvic. Grounding in my pelvis. Can we say that on this podcast? You say pelvis? Pelvis is fine. Yeah, so that sort of like, that's what it felt like. And like she's strong and big. So that's sort of where
she actually was one of the coolest villains, like to stop, because like she do love ice villains. I don't know what's with me with ice, but I actually do like ice. Yeah, I live in LA, but I actually like snow for no reason.
Oh yeah. Right.
So when I saw, I know I'm serious, like Ken, you're hearing me for the first time. I actually love ice type villains.
Right.
So
okay, you're welcome. You're welcome.
His role model is the White Witch from Narnia.
Oh, yeah, right. There we go. And those characters, I love playing these characters too, because I also do, this is usually on my wall. I'm not just doing some subliminal advertising, but I do a Jane Austen show and a Dickens show. And in the Dickens show, I've got these horrible people, and because I play all the characters, so 15 different characters, and the evil ones are so much more fun, Like you want to play Mrs. Showertart, who runs the orphanage, and she's like beats the children up, and it's hilarious. But and they're the ones that I enjoy the most. So doing Power Rangers is really fun like that as well, because you get to just go completely over the top with it, so it's entertaining.
Yes.
One of my favorite cartoon characters said, "A hero is a hero, but everyone loves a good villain."
Exactly. Is that Ursula, the Sea Witch, or she says stuff like that as well?
Yeah, even a lot of former Power Ranger villain actresses, like human ones, even said like, "Hey, they could be a ranger, but I love playing the villains. It's the most fun."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I would never be, I'm not like lithe enough or small enough to play a Power Ranger. They're very skinny ladies, the Power Rangers. It's never been one of my strong suits, and I've got very large breasts. So yeah, that wouldn't work very well. I was like, I think I can say that. Yeah, I can say that. So
how did you get?
It's like, you've been watching me since I'm 8. You were 8, and I just said breasts. So I guess that's very strange for you. I'm like your mother, except I'm not. Anyway.
Okay. Where did you get the voice for Leisure?
So guys,
that one, it was just because she flies around. So there was some, sort of like, I just wanted to do this really nasal sort of, wee, I'm a laser beam and I fly around. But I have to be less annoying. So yeah, that's sort of what I mainlined for that one. And I enjoyed that one too. But it was funny when they told me to pull it back a bit. But you can hear my voice is already getting a bit husky from doing this.
It's very bad for your voice, vocal work sometimes. But things like that one is actually like when you do something that's in your nose.
When it's up here like this, it's less strain on your vocal cords. So we like,
because you know how every season there's those hordes of whatever they are, like Viveks or what have you. Like we always come up, there's a group of us, we sit in a room and we come up with what noise they're going to make at the beginning of every season.
And we're always trying to get ones that are much more like this.
Because if you do that the whole season, you just utterly screw your voice. So, yeah.
So we're always trying to get ones like this. You do that more. It's kind of fun too, you know. You can imagine a little cartoon walking along doing this.
Anyway.
It's kind of funny. Some of the actors from the early days, they said like, I think during one of their con panels, they was like, "Hey, we got to all be putties. You know, putties were easy. You know, just go."
Yes, yes. I because we watched some of those like some historic ones. You know, when we were because I think there was they revisited those. You see, because we never had it really in New Zealand. You know so much more about it than I ever will. So I think we sort of did a bit of a revisit of the putties, and we had to revoice them. So we had to go back and watch what they had been, and then do them again. So that was an education in the history of Power Rangers.
Oh, you did well though. I mean, that was actually great, you know, redone. So, congrats.
The
Thank you very
putties,
much.
the putties actually did come back in the last season. So did you guys do that? Sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. We had to watch what it was previous to then do it again, you know, because none of us grew up watching it. Because I don't know if you like in New Zealand, they children were emulating the moves in the schoolyard, so they cancelled it. So yeah, we're very precious in New Zealand. Can't hurt the babies. So we never really had the TV show at all. So yeah, so it was so interesting when it came. And you know, I put that I was doing this interview on Facebook, and I have a lot of friends in Canada. And one person said, "You're officially the coolest person know now." And I was like, what? Because it was so big there. Whereas here, people are like, whatever. So yeah, I appreciate you for enjoying me.
Yeah, especially the Viveks too, because I actually like the Viveks. So.
All right, yeah. We did what, like the bubble? I can't remember what the bubble ones. Yeah, we've done like every season has like a slightly different sound to it. So, and you know, it's so funny. There's like 7 people or 6 people in a room, 5 or 6 people in a room, and we're all going, and we have to time it with the fighting. So that's always fun too, is the fighting thing. So you like 3 hits and a take and a spin and a fall. So we're like that sort of stuff. And so it's hilarious to watch. It's so stupid. And you're like, we get paid to do this.
And you get to let us enjoy because we get the heart.
Yes, to fill young men's hearts with joy.
The grinders in there were these foot soldiers called the grinders in Power Rangers RPM, and they made this weird noise. Did you guys do any of those? Because
that was like when was that? So they all
2009.
Yeah. I think because we did we did one of those, and we did a bubble one, as I said, and every season has a different noise. And so when you're the first loop of a season, the power of responsibility is big, because we all go, right, okay, so we look at what they look like, how they move, you know, what they're wearing. I think some looked a bit like fish, so that's why we did the bubble one. I don't know.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah. They all blended together after a while, I must say. But so there's at the beginning of every season, and then it has to go off to the powers that be for them to decide. So we'll do like 3 different versions, and then they come back and decide. I was a bit annoyed this season. They decided that they didn't want women in it, but yet that means that we get to leave the loop early and still get paid. So. Finally, equal rights for ladies. But sometimes it can be like that. There weren't enough female monsters at the beginning, but that does seem to be changing.
Yeah, the several year gap between these two. So, you know, Dino Fury, bring Penny back for.
Thank you. I agree. Bring back Penny. There was like a huge gap between those two. And I didn't actually have that many auditions in that time too. So but it does definitely feel like it's changed a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of these tooth soldiers you voiced, can you tell us what was it like voicing the Moogers in the Power Rangers video game, Samurai video game?
Did I do that? If I did it, I don't know if I've done a video game one. I've done it in the TV series. But Moogers, I've done Moogers. I know that name, but I can't remember what they sound like.
I think you did. Well, I think maybe you used that voice for the video game.
Yeah,
they probably did. Yeah.
I got a picture of them right here.
The Moogers.
Yeah, I can't see. Yeah, I definitely know that name. Like, yeah, Vivek's, Moogers, Grinders is that's got a new connotation now, hasn't it? Grinder is a whole different sort of computer app. But yeah, like as I say, they do, like when you don't watch it, and they do sort of blend together over the different seasons. Jeremy, I know that you've interviewed Jeremy. Jeremy is much better at remembering all that sort of stuff. He's the Luke captain and things a lot of the time. We did Legend of the Seeker, and he was the Luke captain for that. Yes, he was very, very good, very in charge. And I think he did Spartacus as well. Yeah, Spartacus was very different. There was a lot of sex. There was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of dismembering. Yes, there was. So basically it was like, am I being killed or am I making love? Except it wasn't making love. I used a different word when I was describing that, one that you can't say on this podcast. And yeah, it was all filth. It was utter filth. It was like, rip him a new, and just all this sort of stuff. So whereas when you do Power Rangers, you can't even say, oh my God. You have to say, oh my gosh. And when we do the stuff, it's hilarious when you're in the cafes. Because usually when you do looping, it's background noise. And it's stuff that they lay this bed down, and then it goes to all the different countries. And then they add different languages on top of call outs and things like that, like over here or what have you. And so is what we spend most of our time doing, which is also hilarious. But when we were talking, it was like, oh my gosh, I love chemistry. Do you think Jeff's going to look at me today in chemistry? I was like, I would like ham on my pizza, please. Whereas in Spartacus, it was like, I'm gonna be, and all sorts of sex positions and things. So my range is quite different when it comes to some looping, that's for sure. You have to be careful which room you're in and remember that, oh yeah, this is the pizza one, not the spit roll. I didn't say that. Hiding. I'm a lot filthier than the Power Rangers, let me tell you.
That's fine.
Did you expect that the Power Ranger franchise would be as big as it is?
I mean, as I say, because we didn't have it, like I had no idea how big it was. I had heard of Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers, etc., just because of the zeitgeist and the pop culture and things like that. But we didn't quite get how big it was. And I think if you talk to anybody in New Zealand when it first came here, but was still going to be going, this much later in New Zealand, I don't know if anybody would have thought that was the case. But especially because it's been sold a few times to a few different companies, and you can see there's a lot that is geared towards toys and selling the merchandise and stuff like that. So yeah, it keeps being reincarnated and brought back in various different ways. So, and that's the great thing about the fandom, and stuff like that. When people have such invested fans like yourself, it's really gratifying. And it's really quite lovely. And I think we just are lucky in New Zealand that it has kept going for this long to give so many people work over the years. Like Jim McClarty, who's a really good friend of mine. He's done a lot of the ADR stuff and the dialect coaching, and he's the best. And he and Laurie, they're good friends. So, it was really, it's been wonderful to give people so much work and good people too, which is great.
So my last question for you, Laurie, is, do you have any... well, actually, I forgot I put a question. Well, I'll put it in. Do you have any advice to any aspiring actor or actresses?
Oh, right, okay. I think one thing that, for me, that I have done, this is just for the part that I have taken, is that if you sit around and wait for somebody to cast you in something, you will wait forever. So if you are wanting to create your own work, not everybody can, or collaborate with people who can create work, and then, get yourself work. Like, I generally do work for myself. I can get a bit frustrated sometimes that I don't get auditions and things like that, but I've written theatre shows. This is the opposite. Yeah, I've written theatre shows, I've come up with improv ideas and stuff. It's not so great for voice work. I haven't created that many stuff around that, but you could do. But so my main thing is learn how to create your own work, talk to people about creating your own work. Also figure out what people want to see, because it's all well and good creating some epic experimental something that no one's going to come to. If you're fine with that, just be prepared for that. But if you want to, be self-sufficient and make a living, like I don't get any arts funding at all, because I create stuff that's a bit more commercial, for arts councils and things, but that's fine. So yeah, that was my number one thing, is learn how to create your own work, and then you will always employ yourself.
Is there any upcoming projects you'd like to share with the viewers? Like maybe say a Dino Fury monster or something? Wink, wink.
I did audition for a certain character who we probably can't talk about, but I did not get it this time. I know Laurie is a good friend of mine, and I was like, come on, what's the point in you being my friend? But she has no power that way. I hasten to. It's not nepotism at all. So none of that. But I'm doing a lot of theatre. So that's one thing about New Zealand, is thank God, like with the response that we've had to COVID, that we can still do shows. So I do my Jane Austen show, which is called Promise and Promiscuity. I do Olive Copperbottom, the Dickens show. Laurie and I do a two-handed improv Austen called Austen Found. I'm a one bonnet pony some of the time. That's what it comes down to. A lot of Jane Austen in my life. And so we're doing a big tour around New Zealand in October, and I'm doing my shows in New Plymouth, in Christchurch, in Blenheim, and in Auckland. I had a season at Q Theatre, which is in Queen Street in Auckland, that was just delayed because of the last lockdowns, but Q Theatre's been awesome. So in April, I'm going to go there and do Promise and Promiscuity. So it's a lot of the live theatre stuff, but you can see that on my website, which is hotpink.co.nz. Do not go to hotpink.com, because that is a very different place.
Oh, guys, NZ, NZ. So, because in America, because I literally,
yeah. But yeah, so hotpink.com is much more like Spartacus. So yeah, but if you go to the gig guide in my website, you can see all the different places that I'm going to do things.
Hey guys,
very good. There it is. It's just down here. Read that. Oh, the wrong way. I keep doing that. Oh.
Product placement.
Or
promotional.
I'm not sure I like this veteran word that you keep, but it's true, really, isn't it? It's like, I'm a veteran. I feel like it's like, where's my walker? But yet it's true.
So guys, we have now to the comment section. Are you guys? So Penny, are you ready to see the fan? Well, to see the fans.
Yes.
Like, the questions or comments.
Yeah.
So Paratamish Marasakor says, greetings from India. Hello. Aaron Gills is asking, hi, did you watch the episodes in which you voiced characters once they were aired? Greetings from Argentina.
Hello. I have got the DVDs. I watched the one where I was live action in it, and I have seen snippets of various different ones, and Jim has showed me those. Yeah. I saw the one with my street comedian. I was like, oh wow, those jokes were. Why did the duck put lipstick on his bill? Oh no, oh good Lord.
I remember one was
that's so funny. Yeah, right. Sorry.
I remember one of the jokes, I think, was what's sticky and long, and you say a stick?
Yeah. What did the duck say when he bought some lipstick? That's right. Just put it on my bill. That was it. And why was that 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 8, 9? All that sort of stuff. It was all those very bad children's jokes, but it was fun to do.
Which of the characters of Power Rangers you voice is your favorite and why? Ooh.
I would say Fragra, just because I love doing that Russian, and just the whole thing about I shrink you and put you in my perfume bottle, and how she's got like perfume bottles all over her and that hand on her crotch. I always remember that. I just love that, and I love perfume. I wear the same perfume, and so yeah, she's the closest to my character. But I enjoy that character very much indeed. Yeah.
And
yes.
No,
okay.
what?
So can you sign my tape there? Can we see you in the future?
Yeah, if I'm coming to LA, I'll sign it for you. I do like LA. Some people don't like LA, but I love LA. I have family there. You have nice beaches. You have what's that? What's going on?
This is my Ranger scrapbook. Can you sign it when you come out?
Wow.
He has your character in there too. His monster, the monster. So.
Oh my God, I would love to, but does that involve coming to Missouri?
No, I could. Oh no. I've flown out to California, so.
I know. Invite me to one of these conferences. I would love to go to one of these conferences. So, I just think it would be amazing.
So Mikey Bioni, my sponsor, he's the owner of Ranger Stop and Pop.
Great.
She's interested, and also Scott Zillner, the big Ranger Morphicon here in LA.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hello. I'm very entertaining and modest.
Exactly.
And one last thing about the whole, evil Russian thing. Yeah, Russians and bad guys are fun villains. I was just watching the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie with Morticia. That was
right. Okay. Yeah. I know this just sort of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? Or English as well. That sort of English thing, and that's what Path of Exile. Piety of Theopolis, and she does this sort of whole English thing. And so it often goes with that as well. Piety of Theopolis sends her regards. Now die. It's a lot of killing. I've done a lot of killing.
I know. I like to watch Marcus, and there actually is some Power Ranger actresses there too. So I'm not surprised.
Like Katrina Devine.
And Yellow Devil Fury Ranger and Hutchinson. There's also
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
No, I messed that up. Kat Browie, not Kat Devine. I forget they're both Katrinas.
Yeah, Katrina Devine. Yeah, Katrina Devine. She's quite well known, so yeah.
Lisa Conroy. Love your work as Spartacus.
Lisa Conroy went to school with me. Hello, Lisa Conroy. she's a very good friend. In fact, when I was in lockdown last week, we went into lockdown like a snap lockdown. I was supposed to be at my parents' 50th wedding anniversary and I could not go. But Lisa Conroy turned up in my place and held up the Skype so I could talk to my parents via Skype because I live in a different city now. So big love to Lisa. She's the best. I love her. So hi, Lisa.
Hera Tamish Smith, of course, says, what color ranger would you be?
Well, pink is I was the hot pink poet and all that sort of stuff. So I would definitely have to say pink. And it goes very well with red hair a lot of the time, which is fake, but yet still works. So there we go.
So, before doing voice acting, did you watch? No.
Oh well, yeah. You did. You saw the images. So you saw what you looked like and the action that you did. So yes, you did. Yeah, but not extensively. You just come in and it flashes up on the screen and you watch it, and then you have the words in front of you to do. So yeah, you do watch it a bit.
It's kind of funny. In the Sentai for this character, she's actually one of the final villains, whereas in Power Rangers, she's actually just like a monster of the week. So it's kind of funny how different shows and same footage, but different.
Yeah, totally. And it's quite funny, isn't it? Like she's got Free the Nipple full display, that character, when you really think about it. Like, look at that. Like she'd be banned from Instagram, wouldn't she?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Get a load of this one's design.
Oh wow. Which one's that? Oh.
She's from Lightspeed, and her name's Queen Banshira, and she has like a face on her chest, and the eyes are.
Oh my God. Who doesn't? Oh, I see. Yes, right. Okay. The eyes are the window to the soul.
Speaking of monster, parts, today's villain for Dino Fury actually had. So.
Right.
Her. So today's episode of Dino Fury, the monster of the week actually had nipple. Like, nipples actually hypnotize people. So I was like,
wow, really?
You were like, okay, Power Rangers is getting a little.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And that's what happens to me in real life all the time. Go to the supermarket. I shall mesmerize you right now. Yeah, you're quite easily embarrassed, aren't you, love?
I
know. In this one season, they had a female chameleon villain, and her costume in the Japanese show had the chameleon eyes for the breast armor, so they had to change that. But here's
right. I see.
It's like the American version,
America, so prudish.
And there's the concept art for the Sentai version. So
right. Mm-hmm. There was a question before. Was it, do I like cricket or something?
Yeah, it was here. Saying, do you prefer cricket or football? Oh, soccer.
Yeah, wow. See, you're talking to the wrong girl. I prefer the arts and museums and theatre. I'm not really. My husband, I don't know, he probably prefers cricket of those ones. It's funny, actually. My husband's English, and to play for Yorkshire, you have to be born in Yorkshire. And his parents drove from where they lived in Birmingham back to Yorkshire to have his brother, just in case he wanted to play for Yorkshire one day for cricket. It's like, she drove to give birth in case he wanted to play cricket. But yeah, that sport's not big in my world, but I realize it is in India. Definitely would be cricket for you, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't really care. I did play cricket briefly with a tennis ball at primary school, and then we got to high school and played with a proper cricket ball, and I was terrified. That's very hard, and quit almost immediately. So I was in the drama room most of the time.
Oh, yeah, one more person. Which season is your favorite?
Oh, right. You see, because I haven't really watched them. But I haven't really watched them. And so it's like, for me, I don't know. And I will say, oh my God, I'm alienating everybody right now, but they sort of do blend a little bit when because you just come in and do that vocal stuff, and it's not on television here at all. So, I would say, I don't even know. I quite enjoyed the one that constantly had the wrestling, like, in the large arena, and where they had the gigantifying. That was
Ninja Steel.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that because we were like, ugh, all those monsters, like in that arena, and the gigantifying and stuff like that was quite entertaining.
Yeah,
so I've remembered that. Yeah, so there, let's go with that. And then also, there's always lots of ninjas and dinos, and they do get a little sort of mixed up a little bit.
We're in our 4th Dino season now.
Yeah, it is a 4th Dino season in like what, years? So
Yeah, so it's little blends together, but don't tell the producers that.
So guys, thank you very much for being part of this special interview. So Penny, where can he find you in social media, or do you have a website, or?
Yeah, that website was hotpink.co.nz. NZ. My Facebook is hotpink Penny Ashton. My Twitter is Penny Pink. You can see there's a theme evolving here. And Penash, Penash on Instagram. So that's all of my social media accounts.
Awesome. Nice. Kent, my partner in crime, where can I find you?
You can find me on Instagram, brown_K, as well as QR Ranger Book, where I show every page of this thing off.
That's so impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
This only goes up to 2014, so.
Oh God.
And I'm gonna
continue on. Got some work ahead of you.
Gonna continue on for there. Also, Ryan said, your last name was a teacher in his school, and I knew a Penny in my school.
And she was amazing.
Yes, she was. And you're
was she a Penelope?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're also Inspector Gadget's niece.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. There's a few pop culture pennies. Yeah.
Anyway, sidetracked along. Ryan, where can we find you?
Instagram, DancerBoy247. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at the Morphin Network. All right, guys. Have a good night, good evening, or wherever you guys are. Morning, afternoon, evening, around the world. So, yeah, guys. This is Morphin Network. We're doing a goodbye wave. Bye, guys.
Kakite.
Today's Morphin Network video is brought to you by Karson's Korner. Karson's Korner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises. These franchises include King of the Hill, Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and of course, most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at www.carsonscorner.com.